Well, we got more Clash of Critters for you and another update coming to the game on the Pioneer server here. Once again, if you're not familiar with the Pioneer server, before the game went global, they offered a bunch of players chance to go and access this and get the game updates about a week early so we could test them out and see what's coming. And don't mind me, I'm a little bit under the weather still, so we're just kind of trooping our way through it. But probably the big one that's going to be coming on this one here is we do have a new Tatari that is going to be this one that's highlighting right here. Already got it tier 2, we're pushing it to tier 3. Gonna be able to take it there tonight, but luckily it only cost me, I think, $45 this time, so wasn't too bad, and we'll make a video for that tomorrow. Not feeling up to it right now, like I said, not feeling too crazy. But the big thing on this here with the whole first edition of this, or tier 1, we're gonna have Glowfly, and pretty much what happens with this, which I gotta say, I'm a little bit weirded out about this. I'm not too crazy. It seems like this could potentially be good, but there's some main things I'm not really too crazy about. But you'll see this here, we're pretty much gonna be tossing out a shield on this, and after the shield gets tossed out, it's going to explode and do some damage. Now, you saw about 8,000 there. Before I threw some levels on it, it was about 7,000, but as the enemies get closer and that thing explodes, it's going to be doing damage to them. Now, at the tier 2 portion of this here, which did require me to go and land inside the star thing 20 times, so I just set my pinballs to times 20, landed in there, and I was able to go and get it. And as you can see here, this is going to be Phos Flare. The big difference on this now is when going in and making that attack, when enemies are hit by that shield exploding, it's going to cause some paralysis. So it's not anything too wild or crazy on it. It seems like this is always going to be tossing out towards the front line, so you can see I got Monkey, the closest one to it there, and it seemed like when I was going and having both Blitzmane, or whatever the name is of it now, Storm Lion, and I also had Voltmare over on the right hand side, it seemed to want to go more towards the right side, but then other times it went towards the left side, so it's a little bit sporadic of where that actual bubble shield is going to be going. But once that does explode, it kind of explodes in a plus pattern on it, allowing those enemies that get hit by it to go and now be paralyzed. As far as the placement on this, though, you can kind of see moving around on this. It's a pretty big screen to go and throw that shield out. What I'm not crazy about is we go and we drop these guys back on it and move it all the way up to the front. We'll throw a little bit of a speed up on this here. This thing does not appear to actually be doing any attacks. Oh, okay, it gave the shield itself on it. So it's not going to be doing like a normal attack. Like you'd think like even Cheer Spring there, which would go and have it like if you're touching on it, it's going to be attacking. But this thing just kind of seems to be just relying strictly on that shield. So I think I'd prefer a little bit of a range on it. I mean, at least give me a one tile hit or a smack or something on it. But this is going to be falling underneath the lightning class on it. And the other big thing you'll notice is it's going to be a healer. Now, if you saw the video the other day where I went through all the actual Guardian Tataris there and ranked those, I made a joke that we only had one healer. This would technically be the second, but if we go in here now and filter by the healers, you could see they went through and actually reworked every single Tatari, or majority of them there, and now they're better suiting inside their class. So let's say the Monkey, for example, that used to be a DPS, they're now going throwing this on the Guardian tier here, so a lot of things got moved around just by their actual skill set behind them. Doesn't mean that they're not doing the same amount of damage, they're just kind of grouping them in a little bit of a better area. But as far as this Phos Flare here and going and taking it up to the next evolution, which is going to be Glimmerwing, which supposedly that whole shield there, if it's unbroken, it's going to transfer to a random ally in an adjacent tile. Don't know if that's going to be lasting 4 seconds on it, but in order to go and take it up there, we're going to need to wait for the actual marathon, or I think it might have been a Zobo shooter too. So going and clicking on the trial here, play marathon party or fishing contest. And you'll notice now that we have like a little bit of a highlighted icon on this, letting us know that the marathon party is coming up. So that whole guessing of what's going to be coming next, we might be able to just come over here for each one of these and see like, oh, look at that. Marathon, we're enrolling right now, and the fishing contest has not started yet. And we can actually go through and see these on the other ones here. One of them will kind of like have it dimmed out on it. They made it seem like the current one that's going on right now, like this right here would be the case, but I guess I'm wrong on that. It's going to be either showing you what you're enrolled, so I don't think we're going to be actually able to see what's coming up. But it's kind of nice to let you know what's going on with it. It'll tell you like, oh, you can get pinballs, skateboards, all this stuff from here and there. So by tonight, we'll have this thing tiered up to 3, and then we'll go make a separate video on that. But we do actually have a couple of tier 4 evolutions on it too. So we did get one for the Dun Beetle here, the Humbug. That's now showing this one, the Hero Tyrus. So that looks like it could be a pretty crazy one on it. And then we did actually have a Lightning one there, which was going to be the bad on it. So Synth Hog that I have it right now is Zaplet. We're now going to have an Umbra Veal is going to be the one. Looks like it's going to be a vampire style look to it. Pretty much on those though, you're just going to be gaining the aura for that actual Tatari, so it's still going to be a boost, but it's not going to be like a crazy jump where we go from tier 2 to tier 3. Don't get me wrong, auras are nice, but a lot of people will just kind of say, yeah, you know, taking it there, it's going to take a lot. It may not be as worth it as taking one of the lower tiers up to a tier 3. Some other things that got added too, we now are going to have territory defenders inside the Gold Rush. Still got about another hour on this, but after you capture tiles around your base, you will obtain additional defending units. The closer a tile is to the base, the more defenders it will have. And I think this is going to be more related to the people out there that are having their teams completely zeroed out. I shouldn't talk, I did contribute to it, but we pretty much zeroed a team in the last Gold Rush. They betrayed us supposedly, and everybody's like, we're going to shut them down. So it does happen. So I'm thinking this is going to be a way to just make it that those closest tiles to you are going to be pretty hard to get. And hopefully this will make it a little bit more balanced. Another thing they're doing though too, League rewards will no longer be sent daily and will instead be distributed on the final day. So this could be helpful when that event ends, maybe go and help store up towards another event going on that's not a Gold Rush. MVP rewards, top players in each league can now earn MVP rewards. League ranking rewards, the top 3 teams in kills from each league now receive additional rewards. And then improvements and adjustments. Battles adjusted the height positioning of HP bars for some Tataris in battle, so not sure which ones got buffed, but that sounds like an HP buff to them. Adjusted the classes, we talked about that. Adjusted the displacement mechanic of Sandworm Zobo skills Sand Control, so it no longer pushes Tatari too far towards the front. I know a lot of times I'll go do it, they'll go and pull the Tataris right underneath the health bar, and you're like, I can't drag this thing down. It's pretty much called a loss on it there. So you're just kind of waiting to build up the reserves to bring it back in. So I'm actually excited for that. And it looks like they even buffed a little bit of the warship roll there for Blowfin. That's going to be the ship coming out at level 7 on it. And it looks like the explosion's now going to hit more enemies on it. So reduce the HP of the Pharaoh Zobo summon coffins. If you haven't played the Pharaoh yet, that's pretty freaking annoying. You kill all the mobs, 5 of these actual caskets come out there, you destroy all the caskets, and whichever one you destroy last, that's going to make it where the last final boss comes out, and now you gotta destroy him. So that could be a little tricky. And then they did some bug fixes in there. Trial quests for higher tiers can now be viewed. So that's kind of a nice thing too. If you're kind of considering going and taking one of these things up, you go into your actual evolution on it. If the game will let me get over to there. And you can now see up top what that next evolution is going to be after that. So if you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to take this one up, but I don't know what's going to be after it, this is a nice little way to at least see what those are going to be. We talked about the whole showing of the events going on in there inside the evolution. When switching trial quest, tips will now provide more accurate guidance. Island Gold Rush, during the team up phase, a second confirmation prompt will now appear if there is a significant level gap between, so that way you're not going and getting sucked into a Whales Gold Rush. And then the Gold Rush Tournament and Dewside Gold Rush arena formations can now be viewed and shared. That's kind of nice. Social interactions, I guess there are some issues with some block players out there. And then you can even now go and type in chat and even go and view your own profile picture. You couldn't do that before. And then they just had some other improvements of how the codecs for unlocking the enemies are, some sound effects, some bug fixes, but this is all stuff that is exclusive to the Pioneer server right now, and things could potentially change, but usually they kind of stick to this. So like I said, we'll come back with another video tomorrow going in T3 in that new Tatari there, show you all the skills on that, show you everything that you need to really know. But this is the patch note. I'm excited for it, just not really certain if I'm a fan of this actual new Tatari and the fact that it's not going to be doing any attacks besides just going and throwing out a shield there on another ally. So let me know what you guys think. If you're still doing the cozy farm right now and want to know what you should be investing in, who you should be going and using their user ID, you might want to take a look at this video right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.